Hey Deb, how you doing? So I got your work up here, and I noticed that we'll look at it right here in the body copy since there wasn't a PDF submitted. Sometimes I like to look at a PDF because in the body copy here, which in a lot of times this is just fine, but sometimes I like to really zoom out and get a really a far away look, and then I like to zoom in and get really close up looks, which I can do kind of in um, whatever this is, this Mac OS, but you won't see it. So whatever. Anyway, so that's why sometimes it's nice to use a PDF. But anyways, let's look at the work. Okay, so you got all this research done, and then you have your final presentation. But you have to keep something in mind. Okay, let's pretend I'm your art director, and my office is at the end of the hall, and then the studio. The designer studio is this big open room, okay, and then my office, the art director's office, is in the corner. Forget the hall. So you're working on the Olympic stuff, and the last time I talked to you in our hypothetical scenario, I see. I'll show you what I see. I see this. I see this. I'm sorry. I should have had this all set up for you. I'm so sorry. Anyways, this is what I see. Okay. Come on. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Gee, oh man. If I knew this would have taken this long. Jeez. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this is what I get. Okay, and you're in my office, and I go, and I'm looking, and I'm going, okay, and I say, okay, now remember, this is fine. It's very just the same things I was saying before in my notes. It says this is wonderful, very very minimal. The tree, the mountain, that's as minimal as you can get, but it is outstanding communication, nonetheless. A little bit too minimal. Let's kick that one out, and let's look at these three. Then we talked about these three, right? Now, so I think this is excellent. These are excellent. Now, my idea here is the transition from your symbols to your logo is a little rough. Let me show you what I mean. So you come back in my office this week and you go, okay, this is what I've been working on, this logo here, and these are my, and I go, oh wow, so you chose that one. That's awesome. I think that's wonderful potential. So basically, what do we have here? All right, so now I'm looking at the work after commenting the first time, and I'm saying, okay, Deb, looks like you gave two variations of the same logo, which is fine. However, I think we need to stop and go back and look at the basic rules of logo development. There's nothing in logo development that says your symbol has got to be represented 100% accurately. Logo creation and development is a huge game of abstract ideas, okay, and abstract marks. So why am I saying that? Okay, here's the, unfortunately I don't have your, and this is what I was going to get to too. So as you come into my office the second week and you say, okay, this is what I'm working on, I go, well, wait a second, where's the background? I don't know what I'm looking at here, Deb, because I've got 30 designers, well, in this class, 20 or 18 or what, I don't know, whatever. And they're all working on different projects. So you kind of have to give me a background when you submit stuff to me, because otherwise I really have to go back and do some research on my own. So by including a little bit of background goes a long way in your presentation. My general rule in my on-ground classes and some of my upper level classes is this: if you are going to present something, assume that the viewer has no clue what you're talking about. That way it'll ensure a completion, really a complete presentation of your thoughts and transfer of your ideas. Okay, so, all right, so here we are, and these are wonderful studies, good color studies, good variation studies. You got your pictograms, which I'll talk about in a second. You've got your background patterns, awesome. Everything is full steam ahead. So what's the problem? I'll tell you what. When I said logo creation and development is somewhat of an abstract game, it is. Okay, what do I mean by that? What do you see here? This is the culmination of all of your research. And this is a mark, this is a symbol that's associated specifically with the peoples of your location. Now, is it a good logo? And the answer is no, it's not. Why? And the reason is, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted the PDF so we could zoom in. See these real sharp little jagged little pinhead lines? Those aren't good in logo. Those aren't good in any visual communication unless you're trying to give a visual depiction of something that could be very dangerous or very painful. Remember, basic visual communication is based on survival. So if you present something sharp, we as human beings are going to perceive it as sharp and probably try to avoid it, okay? That said, I went ahead and I just did something, and I do this all the time, and I suggest it's a practice that you could start employing in logo development. So basically, what do I have? After all my research and all my development, I come up with my logos, I lay my logos out on my work table in front of me, and I go, what am I looking at? So what am I looking at here is I'm looking at a spiral. Basically, we're looking at a spiral, right? So let's go abstract. We can still identify with all the markers of this as a symbol, as it's associated to the indigenous people of your location of choice. However, we can make it more friendly in terms of contemporary design, design expectations, reproduction, and basic visual stature. How do we do that? Well, tell you what, one of my favorite things to do, Deb, is just to go just like this. Right over to Google, I see a spiral, I say spiral logo. That's it. Go to an image search, and I just start getting ideas. And I think basically there's absolutely nothing wrong with that approach. That's quite nice, by the way. Do you see what I'm saying? And I mean, this thing's got, you know how Google is now. I mean, I can probably find my grandmother's address when she was in college on Google. So you can find all sorts of different ideas. And I'm not saying copy and paste. I'm saying, use these for inspiration. And a lot of these are professionally designed, and a lot of them are just like little cartoons. But the ones that are professionally designed, you can tell what's suitable for a logo. This, for instance, is not suitable for a logo because all the jagged little lines and remember, I would not suggest this for a logo because of all the gradients and okay, so that's where I'm at, Deb. I'm just a little bit concerned about the mark itself. Okay, next, where'd you get the colors? That we didn't see that in your presentation, so we'll need to see that. Where'd you get the colors? Great logo studies, as I said before, pictograms. I have to ask this, Deb. I'm sorry, I have to ask it. I've asked this of a couple other students before. A couple have gotten mad at me, and there's always the possibility that students kind of get mad at me, but I have to ask, are these your drawings? If they are, awesome, they're wonderful. If they're not, reevaluate. I recommend not including them if they're not your drawings. Okay, are they suitable for pictograms? I don't think so. I think they're too complex. I think that they're not recognizable enough, and they're not going to be recognizable enough on some sort of a background that we would have to see that on, okay, especially with that little swatch of ink. And then the patterns, wonderful job working with your patterns. You're going to be using those as we move forward, but I would suggest not offsetting these patterns to create this kind of dizzying effect. Believe it or not, it affects a lot of people a bad way. I personally, when this is called op art basically, and it's created to create these optical illusions, and sometimes I'll go straight up into vertigo. Or I have to look away, or I will. And some of those I shouldn't say motion graphics, because some of that op art that is created to make it look like it's, like moving or blurry. So I recommend against that because a lot of people visually can't handle it. As you notice, as I scroll away. Okay, so you're right on target. Real quick. I'll just go there from here, but I just want you to see. Okay, I just want you to see something that I put up in here, so that's going to help you guys. Come on, computer, let's go. Okay, I'm just going to go to the announcement area, and let's go to our announcements, and I want you to see this. I put 2 announcements in here. I don't know if you saw this. If you didn't, you gotta go through this and look through that. That's called watch this video. And then I have this welcome to week 6 video. Be sure to watch it as well moving forward. Okay, and that's all I have. Great job. If you have, wait, that's why I wanted to show you the pictograms too. See how solid they are? See how each one is really able to stand up? Almost, you get these things almost tiny. I mean, if I back up off my computer, I can get another 10 feet away before they start looking like blobs instead of figures. So think about that. And awesome, I'm right here. Get with me if you need anything at all. Okay, thanks.